Hi everyone! Today I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that's Twitter and how you should use it as an academic. I have a couple of tips, general things that I think that make a good Twitter user. I want to start by saying though that you don't have to be on Twitter or any social media at all unless you want to. Don't fall into the trap of thinking all my colleagues are on Twitter, all my friends are on Instagram, I have to do it, it's one more thing in my day. Ugh. Because if you're not getting anything out of it, then there's no point doing it. But if you do want to start getting on with Twitter, here are my tips. Tip 1, be someone. What I mean is upload a profile picture. It doesn't necessarily have to be a picture of your face. A lot of high profile tweeters don't have pictures of their own face. Also have a name and a handle, and again, they don't necessarily have to be your name. Mine is my name. I'm at Ellie Mackin, and at the moment my name is Dr. E. Mackin Roberts. But some people don't. You can stay anonymous on academic Twitter, as anonymous as you would like to be, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't contribute in an anonymous fashion. You absolutely can. Also have a bio, and the bio should match what you want to put in and get out of Twitter. So mine says something like ancient historian, writing books about underworld gods, she, her, intersectional feminist, and like maybe some emojis, probably some emojis. I would definitely say that my bio has some emojis. It doesn't have to be long, it just kind of like who you are and what you're doing. And that kind of feeds into my second tip, which is be yourself. The person that you should be on Twitter is you, and that means that you don't have to just be wooden and work oriented. Also speak about your life, crack jokes. Don't shy away from topics that you're passionate about, including religion and politics. Get involved. Get involved in conversations, learn some hashtags that apply to your discipline. One really good one that I like is Twitterstorians for historians on Twitter, and conferences. There are loads and loads of ways to get involved on Twitter at conferences, with some caveats, and I'm going to post a link below to Liz Gloyn's really great blog post on live tweeting etiquette. Tip 3, find your tribe. This seems to be one of my tips for literally everything. Any kind of anything. Find your tribe. Social media doesn't have to be a bubble. And there's a lot of talk about like a bubbleification of people's social media, that you're only speaking to people with the same viewpoints as you. That's not a problem. And I don't think that you should have to follow people who make you uncomfortable unless you want to. You should be reaching out and reading dissenting voices, but that doesn't have to be in an interactive space. So make Twitter a bubble if you want it to be a bubble. Find some hashtags and regular chats. I mentioned Twitterstorians. I am a co-moderator for the @ECR chat, Twitter chats. There are loads of different kinds of Twitter chats. You can search for some and see what the people who you start following are getting involved with and get involved with those. That can lead to new followers, new interactions, new people that you can virtually meet. And it can give you a bit of an idea about what goes on Twitter in a more organized way. Twitter chats tend to be an hour-long, curated chat with one or more moderators on a set topic. How ECR chats tend to work is that there are between 3 and 5 questions that we as moderators throw out, and then we put people together who are sort of talking about the same things. The other thing you can do is find a list and see who to follow. So one of my favorite lists is Liz Gloyn's Classicist Women's List. It is, as the name suggests, a list of female classicists on Twitter, and everybody's there and it's great. You can either use these lists to find people to follow, or you can follow the list. You can get onto TweetDeck, you can make it one of your columns, and then you don't necessarily have to follow people that you don't normally interact with. I personally think follow people that you regularly interact with, even when they're on lists that you also follow. And that gets to my 4th tip, which is engage. Twitter is not an echo chamber. It is not a place for you to throw out your announcement and not get involved. It is a conversation. Also remember that this is a public forum. That means 2 things. The things that you say on Twitter are public, but people also expect to have other people get involved in what they're saying, and people will get involved in what you're saying. That's how Twitter works. It isn't like having a conversation on the tube where you expect that nobody else in the carriage will pitch in. It is having a conversation on the tube where everybody can pitch in. And that's one of the great things about Twitter. My personal advice is be liberal with the block button. I have no time for trolls. I don't get involved in any of those conversations. I just block people. You do you. If you want to block people, block people. If you don't, don't. But don't be a taker. And that is my final tip. Be a giver. Give your time. Give your opinion. Give your expertise. Give your generosity. Give your enthusiasm and your excitement. Don't just expect people to engage with you without engaging with them. Finally, remember that Twitter, like all social media, isn't real life. It's not representative of anybody's actual lives. We all have mess in the background that we don't put on Twitter or Instagram. Actually, Instagram is a really good example, because I have a research journal Instagram where I post pictures of pages from my planner, and I don't post the pictures that I've scribbled all over or the pages that I've made massive mistakes on. I post the pages that I go, yeah, I've spent a bit of time on this and I'm really, I think it looks really nice. So remember that Twitter is not real life, but it can be a great place to meet people, can be a great place to find collaborators, it can be a great place to find friends and support and love and generosity and kindness. And it can be a great place to give all of that out into the world as well. So if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Ellie Mackin. You can also subscribe to my channel to get new videos. And please like this video and share it with anyone you think should be on Twitter. And post your top Twitter tips in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.